Well, the play of Andrew Luck this afternoon has depended a lot on the Colts offensive line, one of the most improved in the NFL. It's been getting a lot of accolades. Rookie left guard Quentin Nelson just named first team All-Pro. The first two times these two teams played in Indy in Week 4, the line was in a state of flux. Left tackle Anthony Costanzo out with an injury. The Colts were still trying to figure out some of their starters. Andrew Luck was sacked 4 times. The Colts fumbled 3 times. One of them was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. But by the time they played here in Week 14, that line had stabilized. They had gotten into a groove. Costanzo was back, and Luck was sacked only twice. Again this afternoon, the Colts are going to be hoping to at least minimize some of that havoc that this Texans defense can cause. James?
That's right, Randy. This is really what to watch for this game. And what the Texans do up front is they move their defensive line around maybe more than anybody else in football. One of the things they've been successful doing is moving their star pass rusher, Jadeveon Clowney, over the center, standing up and rushing the center with kind of a head of steam. I talked to Bill O'Brien this week about that, and he said when we do that with Clowney, we're actually giving him a lot of freedom to use his instincts and pick and choose where he wants to go. When I talked to Clowney about it, he said his approach when he rushes the center is this. It's kind of like he's breaking someone down, crossing him over on a basketball court. He wants to get that center leaning one way or the other, and he likes going against bigger guys. Remember, Ryan Kelly is a bigger center at 6'4", so keep an eye on that, guys. That could be the spot to where Jadeveon Clowney could wreak some havoc and get in the face of Andrew Luck.
Yeah, that is not good news for Andrew Luck there. James, thank you so much. This Texans defense has held most teams in check, but not the Colts. No. Indy averaged almost 30 points per game in their 2 games. Yeah, against Houston this year.
133.
Please. With all the other teams scoring about 18 points per game. There's also a major difference in total yards and third down percentage there. So these two teams, well, it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure. But, Mike Robb, when you look at this matchup, what sticks out to you?
Well, James Palmer did an excellent job reporting this now. I mean, he set me up for my point. It's all about Jadeveon Clowney and where Jadeveon Clowney lines up. I know J.J. Watt gets a lot of the attention. He gets a lot of the headlines. But this defense operates because of Jadeveon Clowney's versatility. The fact that he can line up over center, standing up as a, 6'6", however big he is, and be able to use his quickness and his length to be able to disrupt offenses has been phenomenal. They have sacked, Andrew Luck 6 times in the last 2 games. They need to pressure Andrew Luck even more if they want to win this game. And to me, it starts with Jadeveon Clowney. A lot of times it doesn't show up in the box score, guys. It doesn't show up, he has a whole lot of sacks. I think he only has, 8 sacks this season. That's not a lot. But when you watch the tape, he opens up a lot of opportunities for other guys on that.
And Andrew Luck's only been sacked about 18 times.
I know.
And
they
you
have
look
6.
at exactly.
Well, that just lets you know when we talk about division, when you're inside your own division, you just have so much familiarity, and they just break all tendencies. So you can never predict. That's why the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and those wild card games has always been interesting. You never know who it is. But what I really love about this is we said it all year. Jadeveon Clowney has done such a phenomenal job. He does not get a lot of credit. But defenses and offense coordinators know, watching the first 3 or 4 snaps of the Colts game, they always have started with an extra tackle in the box.
Yeah.
Why? Tackle on the line in there, because they want to get Jadeveon Clowney multiple hands on him, disrupt him, take off his timing, because he is unbelievable. But one of the interesting things about this game that I'm really looking at is who is this Houston Texans team? Because when we look at them against Philly, they were a little inconsistent. You know, you're just not really sure what's going on. And also the Colts. These both playing the Colts 18 points. But yet, week 14, 139 yards passing. And week 4 is 839. Week 14, 666 yards. So everything about the passing game, when these two teams, you got to throw it out the window, it's going to be a lot of passing yards.
And there's going to be a ton of passing yards if they don't cover T.Y. Hilton.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you're talking about.
Off.
He did, and
Don't
he's
leave
playing
him
hurt, and he's got an ankle injury. He's had he's played through a bunch of stuff this year, debilitating stuff, while not practicing as they try to rest him during the week and save it for the weekend. And, you know, he's got the confidence coming into the game. He talked about NRG Stadium being his second home there, which the Texans players didn't appreciate.
But they don't press him or anything, Jeezy. They don't put hands on him they don't do anything to kind of stop him from getting his time in the
Well, you know why?
quarterback.
Because Frank Wright understands what T.Y. Hilton is. And one of the things, as a wide receiver, it may come across, negatively. But here's the thing. T.Y. can't get off the jam. So they keep him off the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They put a bunch sets, keep him off the line of scrimmage. They do they'll put him, line him up at the number 3, line him up 2, so guys don't get a clean break because T.Y. has blazing speed. Yeah. But once you get, it's like he's toast now. He is toast, but if you put some jam on that toast, it gets a little difficult. So that's why they keep him off the line of scrimmage.
Well, give Frank Wright credit for that.
Absolutely.
And now, if you're Romeo Crennel and you're the Texans, you got to figure out a way to combat that. If you can't get hands on him, what do you got to do? You got to give him the help over the top. You got to do everything you can to stop him from running free through the secondary.
And they haven't figured it out.
And if they listen, the Eagles hit a big play when they had Nelson Aguilar matched up with Tyrann Mathieu on that one play where he hit it the big play down the field. I try and get that if I'm the Colts. So there's a lot of ways to get it done.
They got to figure out a way, too, to limit Eric Ebron. I mean, the Colts, they rely on their tight ends. The Colts have 21 touchdowns by their tight ends. No other team has more than 13.
Ebron got 13 himself, right?
And Houston, they struggle against tight ends.
8 of them in the red zone.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. When he catches it, he's a fantastic player.
You said when he catches.
He's 5 drops. He's had some passes that you're like, oh, he got this. He'll make the hard catch look easy, and the easy catch
look tough.
That's true.
That's what you call stop fighting the Duke.
We're going to talk about the other side of the matchup coming up as well.